back to NUM.
When you joined AMCU, you told us about when you joined AMCU. Do you know whether the AMCU form that you signed was given to Lonman so that deductions were made from your wages paid over to AMCU?
And just tell it okokuba wajoyina iAMCU phaya ngoku unolwazi okokuba le form owayisayina iyanikezwa na kwaLonman okokuba batsalele omali iye kwiAMCU. Yes, it was deducted, it was taken.
And when you cancelled, as you have told us, did you send another form to Lonman so that they stopped deducting money from your wages to pay to AMCU and resume deducting money and paying it over to NUM?
Okuxasa ubuyela ke kuNUM wasayina enye iform esithi ngoku mabangasayidonsi iye kwiAMCU mayiye kwiNUM imali yakho.
What did I sign for
Yes.
Mubambi? I signed.
I did, Chairperson, I signed that form.
Why Uncle I don't say 90 rand whom Joma the RTO. I don't say 90 rand membership here.
AMCU was deducting 90 rand as a membership, their membership fee of 90 rand as an RDO.
Sir, on the occasion that you made a statement to the police at Bethany, did you tell them what transpired at the mountain during the unprotected strike?
Xa usenza istatement phaya epolice station wawubaxelele ke okokuba benenza ntoni kwenziwa ntoni nantoni phaya entabeni?
Hayi zange ndibaxelele tata.
No, I did not tell.
What was the charge that you laid against these two people that you spoke to?
La madoda amabini akuphazamisa phaya wawubabeka ityala lokwenza ntoni?
Babe sithi bazondivakatshela apho ndihlala khona umvakatshi ke uyaphekelwa umvakatshi ovele ethi uzokuvakatshela kanqo wazondibulala.
Chairperson, they said they would visit me where I'm staying. Now I know a visitor to be a person that is welcomed by being given food when he visits you. In this case, a visitor that comes uninvited, I thought they were coming to kill me.
No, you should have answered my question. What was the charge that you laid against these two people?
When our police station yoba mangalela umangala
What
ngoba
was the
benze ntoni?
offense which you
Dada,
alleged they had committed against you?
Andikuvanga kahle mfowabo.
Dada reporter security sandithatha ndoyifaka icase wangelo xesha elebhitani kwangalawo mini.
I reported to the security office. The police, the security took me to the police at Bethany on that day to open a case.
You still haven't answered my question.
Awukaphendulanga umbuzo wawuthi bakwenze ntoni bone ntoni kuwe.
You went to Bethany police station
Andithi
to
waye
lay
Bethany
a
police station
complaint against these two people that spoke.
uyovula icase
What
kwabantu
was the
ababini.
charge in respect of which you were laying the complaint?
Bubatyhala ngokwenza ntoni ukuba bakwenze ntoni.
Bazondibulala.
That they were going to kill me.
Sir, is it correct that on the 21st of January 2010 you withdrew the charges?
If he did it in 2010, I don't understand how it has any relevance to this case.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Chair. On the 21st of January 2013 you withdrew the charge that you laid at Bethany Police Station.
Andithi waye walicima ke elo tyala mhla ka-21 kuJanuary 2013. Yes, I went and did that.
Why did you withdraw the charge against the suspects?
Wenziwa intoni okokuba ulicime ke ngokwelityala?
Baye bathi bandimela futhi eShaftini bathi masihambe silande security ndihambe nabo baze phaya ke ndifike eBhetana bathi bangumndeni wami mandikhansela ke case kuba besithi no uzovela imfihlelo zasentabeni.
Apha igqibeleni utheni ngasentabeni?
Bathi basayiz ndaxe ndiphuma eShaftini emsebenzini bandimela eShaftini saya eofisini bathi ke ngonansi imoto masingene emotweni sihambe siye eBhetani ndiyokhansela la case kuba into yasentabeni zizovela ke ngaba iqhubeleka le case. Bathi ke ndibuye eBhetani ke bandihlisa eCrossing apho ndafunyana ngalamapolisa esecurity. endleleni andibuza uba bendiyephi na ndabaxelela ama-security athi no andithatha ke ngowathi no njengoba
Okay,
ngojongoba
kancinci
ndihlele ngohlobo ndizawuthola ukulimala so mandihambe ndiyofaka ikheni mandihambe nabo bandibeke endaweni ezonceda.
Chairperson, they came to me at the shaft and said to me they would like to take me to the police station. There was a vehicle, take me to the police station to go and withdraw the case, because if I have to go to the police station, things that were secret that were being done at the mountain will now come out to the open. And when we arrived there, they said they were relatives of mine. They dropped me by the gate. As I was coming, I was picked up by the security who said they would take me to a place, go and put me at a safe place.
Sir, before you went to Bethany Police Station to withdraw the case, did you have a discussion with the person against whom you laid the charges?
Phambi kokuba uye police station uyocima ityala elimvo kabawo ben ke nabanothetha-thethana nalamadoda ubuwamangalela.
Ayathetha tata aqala athethe eShaftini athi mdiya hambo cancel icase.
Yes, it was at the shaft where this was discussed that I should cancel the case.
And as a result of the discussion that you had with whom did you have the discussion?
Uthi ubani wawuthetha naye, ubani wathetha nawe?
Kwakubhala noNzama.
Bhala and Nzama.
Nabafana abayi-2 lo driver imoto nomnye umfana okwi-safety pha eShaftini.
And 2 other young men, the one who was driving the vehicle and the other one who works in the safety department at the shaft.
Saya sahamba soyi-4 nabafana saya
4 of us went together.
Do you know the names of the other 2 persons?
Amabizo alabanye ababini uyawazi?
Omnye lona usebenza pha i-safety office omnye kwakuthiwa omnye usebenza eShaftini kuthiwa nguPower omnye kuthiwa
who works at the power station is known as one who works at the shaft is known as Power, and the other one who works at safety
omnye nguNdamase.
The other one is Ndamase, Ndamase.
As a result of the discussion that occurred, you went and withdrew the case. Is that correct?
Kutheke ngoluthethe-thethane lamanalo wagqibezela use ulibulele ityala elo.
Yeah, ndoyi-cancel case.
Yes, I eventually went to withdraw the case, cancel the case.
Now, how did you go to the police station, the Bethany police station?
Wahamba ngantoni ukuya eBethany police station?
Ndahamba nabo sihamba ngeprivate eka-Power.
We went together with them in Power's private car.
Sasofika esecurity semayini sayishiya le private ka-Power sabe sahamba ngale van ya-security nguyasisa eBethany.
He left Power's car at the securities, and then from there we proceeded in the security vehicle to the Bethany police station.
When you proceeded to the Bethany police station in the securities vehicle, in whose company were you?
Anisiya eBethany ke usuphaya kwinqwelo yama-security ubuhamba nabanapho.
Ndihamba ne-security saselon mill esisiya eBethany.
Lone security nabafana.
Yeah, abafana we were C4.
And the young boys who were 4 all in all.
Do you know the name of the security person?
Samkhumbulo we-security ukuba ngubani ibizo lakhe?
Igama lakhe andilazi kodwa ndingamkhomba ke ndimbone.
I would be able to identify him, though I don't know what his name is, Chairperson.
When you made a statement for the withdrawal of the case, did you tell the police what happened at the Kopi during the unprotected strike?
Ixesha usenza istatement esisokubulala ityala ulicima ngoku. Wabaxelela amapolisa okokuba bekusenzeka ntoni phaya entabeni.
Zange baxelele tata uba
No, I
kwenzeke
did
ntoni.
not tell them.
From the police station, Bethany police station, where did you go after you withdrew the charges
Emva kokuba
against Bala and Zama?
emva kokuba usulicimile ityala elika Nzama noBhala xa usuke eBethany police station wase uyaphi.
Ndaye ndabuye ndahamba ndakulaa ndawo le nto bendibekwe kuyo bendihlelise kuyo security. Ndaye ndathi bandihlise eCrossing. Kukho amapolisa ayepakile phayana emele imoto ezivele esearch imoto ezivele emashaftini. Andibuza lamapolisa uba ndabekwa ile van apha ndajike ndahlala phantsi ngaba yintoni ebuhlungu. Ndathi no ndine-cramp apha emlenzeni.
Put me at a road crossing, and there were police who were parked there. After leaving me there and I sat down, the police approached me and asked me, why am I seated there? I said to them, I've got a cramp in my leg.
Andibuza lamapolisa uba ngaba yintoni ndathi ndine-cramp ndabe sendifunyanwa se-security. Sandibuza security ndasicacisela uba bendiyodriva ikheyisi eBhetiana. Le kheyisi kucaca uba kuzovela imfihlelo yasentabeni endandisizenze entabeni. Wazo lo mfo ndize ekuseni ngomso ndize ndimlinde uzondithatha andise emapoliseni futhi. Kuba ndizothola ukufa ngoku bazondibulala kuba kunekheyisi ndizawubulawa into
Whilst I was waiting there and I was asked and explained to them that I had a cramp, the security came and asked me, why is it that I was there? I insisted I had this cramp. He said to me, I should come the following morning. He would take me to a place where I would be safe. They will kill me.
Afanele uba bathi ndizofa kuba njengoba ndicime le case ndizofa ndifune ndizofa so funeke bendihambile andisemapoliseni asephukeni.
He said, since I had withdrawn this case, there's a likelihood that I would die. So he took me to the police.
I'm sorry, I don't understand who said that.
Andiva ngubani lo wayethetha le ntetho mbokaba ukuba uzawubulawa ngibhetela kumikisa emapoliseni.
Ndathatha security esandisa eBhetiana.
Security yakwa-Lonmin.
Saselonmin.
Lonmin security took me to the police station.
A London security person who met you while you were sitting on the side of the road.
Lo wakufumana uhleli phaya emgwaqweni endleleni.
Ewe tata.
Yes, Chairperson.
Before you go any further, the withdrawal of this charge, had you done so voluntarily or were you under some pressure to do so?
Khawusho mfokapha xa uzawuya ucime le case lena ubunyanzelo kokuba wenze njalo ikanene bewuzimisele wena ivela kuwe le nto yokuba hayi mandiyibulale le case.
Hayi tata into endibanga uba ndiyoyicima le case babendicele bethi mandocima le case kuba into zasentabeni zizovela xa ngaba ngeke ndibe yinkokheli entabeni ndiphinde futhi ndifake icase.
What made me withdraw the case is that they came to me and said, if I make this case, things that we're doing on the mountain will then become known. I couldn't be a leader on the mountain and then come and make such a case.
Chair, I think the witness said Baye Bandicela.
Yes, which means that they requested him.
I interpreted his request.
Yeah.
Sorry, if the interpreter did that, I'm sorry, I missed that portion.
What is the word that Mr. Matibedi refers to? What does it mean?
That he was requested to go and withdraw this case because if he goes and make this case, things that were being done on the mountain will then become known.
Sir, do you know the name of the security personnel that you met as testified?
Lo tata o security wadibana naye phaya ungalikhumbula uba ngubani?
andikhumbuli tata kodwa la amapolisa angamazi lo la ifikile kubo.
I do not remember, but the police would know him.
Did you have any discussion with that security personnel?
Lo security waba nentetho wabanayo naye.
Ndamxelela yonke into yesayenze entabeni ukuba entabeni senze kanza kanti kusukela kwestrike sastart istrike size RDO ntuntuni uyoma ke za 16.
He's the person that I told everything. I told him everything that would be done on the mountain from the beginning of the strike throughout.
Why did you tell that security personnel what transpired at the copy?
Wenza intoni uba umxeleleke lo securities into bezenziwa pha entabeni?
Uba ndandisenziwa ubuhlungu uba ndibona uba nami ndisendleleni ekufeni.
I was hurt because I realized I'm on my way to die. I'm going to be killed.
What was going to kill you, sir?
Ubuzawubulawa yintoni ke wena mfokaba?
Ngizobulawa ngoba ngabahlobo bamaba besibulala nawo abantu.
My friends, the people with whom we killed others.
And after you told that security personnel what happened at the mountain, then what transpired?
Emva ukuba usumxelele ke lo we security bakwenzeke ntoni entabeni kwagcibe yaphelela phi lento kwagcibe kwenzeke ntoni?
Wandithatha wandisa ephukeni ngoba bese ndifikele emapoliseni ephukeni ndawaxelela
Me
yonke
to
into asiyenze.
the Pukeng police station where I was handed over to the police. Pukeng, Phokeng.
Do you remember who did you meet at Pukeng, that is the police officer?
Usalikhumbula ipolisa owadibana nalo ePhukeng ohlangana nalo apha?
Ndafikela epoliseni xa kuba sizwane kokuthetha kuthiwa ngumtshelo omchangane kuthiwa ndaba nguba Chomel.
I met a Shangan policeman. There was a bit of misunderstanding in language. I think his name was Chonge.
Is that Chomela?
Uchomela.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you have a discussion with Mr. Chomela?
Waba nentetho naye uChomela.
Ya ndaye ndamcacisela yonke into yasentabeni wabe ebesele sebiza amanye amapolisa xa la khona ipolisa likaba liyasazi isiXhosa.
I explained to him everything that was happening on the mountain. He then called one policeman who seemed to understand Xhosa.
Do you know the particulars of the police officer that seemed to understand Xhosa language?
Lo mfo ke owabona okokuba hayi sikhona nokwisiXhosa pha kuye usakhumbula ukuba ngubani yena?
Ya omnye kwakungumtswana utata lona ungabetswana omnye kungumXhosa otata
One was Tswana speaking, the other one was Xhosa. Uthi usabakhumbula amagama abo?
igama la kwakungcoko omnye tata.
Ngobo. One of Ngongo.
Ncoko.
Or the one was Ngoko. Ngoko. N-C-O-K-O.
Ncoko.
Ngoko.
Which language was Captain Ngoko speaking?
Captain Ngoko lo ubethetha eyiphi intetho? Now.
Uthetha zonke language kodwa ngidaboma ngumXhosa wasekhulu. Akuyikhakhulu lo.
He speaks all the languages, but he's proficient in Xhosa. He's more Xhosa.
Do you know the name of the other police officer who was speaking Setswana?
Eli police lalithetha isiTswana lona uyazi uba libizwa ngoba ngubani?
Isitswana balithetha isitswana ngukapteni wasemarikani na emarikani uba omnye utata wenwele ezekula apha entloko bebabini.
He is a captain at Marikana. There were two of them. He had hair that was quite grown.
But do you know his name, the captain, the one who from Marikana who was speaking
Bizo lakhe
Setswana?
kanene sifani uCaptain lo waseMarikana uyamkhumbula?
Andilazi tata umuntu ongalazi ngungcoba ungcobo
Ngoko would know his name. I don't.
Did you have a discussion with the police officers that you have just mentioned?
Lama polisa uthatha ngawo ngokwe waba nentetho nawo.
Ndandwaxelela esiteli lento yasentabeni tata zange ndibekho enye intetho engaphaya ngaphandle
Nothing
kwento
more than
yasentabeni.
what was happening on the mountain.
And after you told them what happened at the mountain, what transpired?
Emveni kokuba usubaxelele ukuba bekwenziwa ntoni pha entabeni kwasekwenzeka ntoni?
Ndanda bandlo security ndabuyiselwa kule ndawo le bendihlaliswe kuyo uba ndanditshintshiwe phayana xa umanise ukuba ndizothola ukulimala ndathi ndadathathwa ke ngondahamba ndogcina.
I was taken from there to a different place. They changed me because there was fear that I might be injured and kept somewhere. I am under protection right now. Even my people at home don't know where I am.
From the discussion that you had with the police officers, who took you to a place of safety?
Kusuka apho ngubani ke lo wathatha wayokubeka kule ndawo apho ukhuselwe khona?
Ndathathwa ukhona umlungu wayafonelwayo caba ufonela ngamapolisa asephukeni andithatha umlungu wasebenza eClestop wathi wafika osisi ababini bandithatha.
A white person was phoned. He came. He was in Flagstop. He came and removed me.
Is it correct?
With Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. My colleague tells me that I omitted to mention that two ladies came to fetch me.
I'm just asking for a moment. Chair. So immediately from the discussion that was held with the police officers, you testified that you were taken to a place of safety. Do you know whose place was that where you were kept?
Uthi wasuswa apho wamekiswa endaweni apho ukhuselwe khona.
Whether that question is, if I may say so, is sensibly framed, it might elicit an answer which indicates the whereabouts of the place. So I think I know what you want, but I'm not sure.
No,
so perhaps you can reframe the question to
I
avoid
must
that.
uyeke lo mbuzo, okay?
Sir, were you at any stage, for reasons of safety, kept at the premises of Lonmin?
Kukho ixesha apho ububekwe khona phansi kokhuselo kodwa ubekwe kwindawo kaLonmin.
When ndandibekwe security tata.
Yes, so the security.
Lana security ndivuke ndiye emsebenzini sibe sindibuyisa ndixe ndiphume eshaftini kufonela ndidlile ofisini ufonela security sizondithatha sibe sindisendlini sindi-escort.
What the position was, Chairperson, I was staying with the security who would accompany to work in the morning, and then later would be phoned to come and fetch me and keep me at this place for safety.
Ndandidibana abasebenzi emsebenzini kuphela ndingadibani.
Only met the workers, my colleagues at the work.
Are you in a position to state roughly how long did you stay at the premises of Lonmin?
Ixesha owaba lapho thelekisa ukuba kwaba lixesha elingakanani.
kwakuyiveki itala endibala.
It was a week, if I estimate.
So you made a number of statements regarding your involvement during the unprotected strike. Is that correct?
Inyaniso kokuba wenze istatement zininza wenze statement ezininzi ke ngezehlakalo kusuka kwe-strike.
Inyaniso tata.
That is correct.
Chair, I'm going to ask the witness to identify the statements that he made.
Before you do that, is there any assistance with the identity of the first Lonman security person to whom he made the report about all that happened at the mountain?
From the witness or from the legal team?
No, from you. Is that person's identity known?
Chair, at this stage, we try to establish who it is, but I think probably we'll discuss that with Lonmin.
Yes.
We could come back on this aspect.
Thank you, Mr. Martin.
I have difficulty in understanding how you're going to get the witness to identify the statements. You tell us he's illiterate. I suppose you could, and presumably have the statements got his fingerprint on them, or they've got an X, or is one of these people who can at least sign his name even though he can't do anything?
At the bottom of the pages, there is a signature.
Yes, right. I see. So you're going to put a batch of documents to him with his signature at the bottom.
That's
He,
correct.
of course, won't know what the contents of the documents are. I think.
That's correct.
Am I right? We'll keep quadruple A26 for the docket, which you'll sort out during the short adjournment. So
Thanks.
we'll carry on at the moment. Shall we make all these statements quadruple A27.1, etc.?
Then we
How many
have
do you want?
already allocated exhibit numbers to the
What
statements.
numbers do you allocate?
It's quadruple A 1.1. That's the first one. We've already allocated that.
Quadruple A 1.1.
Yes, it's part of bundle B,
Yes.
the manuscript one.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Matibedi, if you're going to put the witness to the statement to the witness, all you're going to show him is his name at the bottom of a page.
I think that's correct.
And would those contents have been read to him and interpreted? Because otherwise, what is he confirming? Just that his name is there at the bottom.
No, I'm also going to a certain extent to deal with the contents thereof.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to read the whole statement to him, it's going to take an age. Do we need that?
I don't intend to read all the statements, Chair. There are certain statements where I'm going to, with certain aspects contained in those statements, but not read the whole statements.
two pieces of paper to him and he can say, that's my signature, I signed it. He can say presumably, I signed it after the person who had written it down, or someone else, had translated what was in the piece of paper, or what he said was in the piece of paper, into Xhosa. And then I signed it. You say that. You would presumably then have to have an affidavit or something from somebody else who says, I took his statement, he spoke in Xhosa, I either translated it myself or had someone who translated it, and I directly recorded it. As one does with a statement made to a magistrate. That person can perhaps make an affidavit and then identify the particular documents that you're going to put in through him, in which he identifies the signature as correctly containing what he said. I don't know how else you can do it.
Sorry to interrupt. Chair, it's not clear to me why we're going this route. If the purpose is for the witness to give the evidence which is in the statements, then he can give the evidence without reference to the statements. He can be asked what happened here and what happened there, and he can give his evidence. Is the purpose to prove is the purpose to give that evidence, or is the purpose to prove that he made a statement in which he said those things? Because it's only if it's the latter that it's necessary, I would think, to go to the statement. If the purpose is to prove that he made a statement in which he said those things, then I can understand that he's taken to the statement. But if the purpose is to give the evidence of fact, he doesn't need to refer to the statement.
What are you trying to achieve by what you're now going to do?
There are two aspects. One is to prove that the witness made statements. And the other aspect in particular is to deal with certain parts of one statement.
In regard to the first point, when one leads a witness, one doesn't normally say to the witness, by the way, you made a statement which contains what you just told us. Would you identify it? You don't normally do that. That's what a cross-examining counsel does when he or she wishes to contradict the evidence of the witness by showing that the witness made a contradictory statement. I mean, you don't normally, as part of a evidence in chief, say you made a statement which sets out what you've just told us in evidence. He's already given his evidence. I can understand the second point. There may be some aspect of the statement that you want to clarify. I haven't got a problem with that. But the first one, I know that what we've done in this commission is we've encouraged counsel to get a witness to confirm his statement. That is because very often the statement contains a lot of other material. For the sake of saving time, everything that's written and confirmed by the witness goes in. But I don't understand that to be the case here, because the witness doesn't, in fact, know what's written in the statement. But I can understand in respect to the second point, there's a particular aspect of one statement you want to deal with. I haven't got a problem with that. I think that must be the answer, Mr. Button, is all. Let me try to cut the thing short to some extent. I understand that you signed a number of statements. Is that correct?
And if I go to sign a statement ezimbalwa ezikhoyo apha kunjalo. Yes, sir, it's correct. I am the person who signed underneath there those
now,
statements.
Before you signed those statements, did someone read to you in Xhosa what it was said was contained in those statements that you signed in English?
Phambi kokuba uzisayineke ezi statement ngoba zibhale ngesiNgesi, kukho umuntu wayekufundela ekuxelela zona ekuchazela zona ngesiXhosa kokuba yintoni nantoni ibhale apha.
What else?
Yes, there was.
And were you happy that what was read to you in Xhosa was in fact what you had said and what was correct?
Oku ke woneliseka kokuba loo nto bayithethayo ngesiXhosa nyhani yiyo intetho evela kuwe. Yes, I was prepared to stand for it because that is what I knew had happened.
short of actually handing the documents to him and getting him to confirm those are the documents he signed, I don't think you need to go further on your first point than the evidence I've covered, the questions I've asked. I understand the second point is a different matter. Obviously, you can deal with that.
Sir, did you make any statement to Lieutenant Colonel Chomela?
Kukho statement wasibhalisa ku-Lieutenant Colonel Chomela.
Sikhona tata.
Yes, there is.
Now, during that period, in which language was the discussion held?
Ngelo xesha bendithetha oluphi ulwimi naye.
wethetha isilungu qha isilungu andisazi kakuhle nesitshangane kona ufumanise ukuba no mabafune umuntu ozi isiXhosa kwazi obuzwa uba uncokolo.
Talking to me in English and also Shangan, which I didn't understand very well. It became necessary that somebody be called, and that is when Ngoko was called.
Ndandithetha ifana kaloku phaa kulo mthatha umshangane.
To the Shangan, a policeman, I was talking in Fanagalo.
Chair, I would like that Exhibit AAA be put up on the screen, but without the details of the witness.
You'll have to leave up the signature at the bottom, will you, if it's signed at the bottom?
That's correct, sir.
Been blocked off on the copy that's going to be screened.
There was a copy that was provided which is blocked. I don't know if Mr. Bernard has got it.
Well, I want to have something that goes wrong. What I suggest we do is we now take the short adjournment. It could have been out earlier than I intended to. Let's take the short adjournment, the comfort break, and during that time you can sort out the problem in relation to the Betani docket, and you can also satisfy yourself that what's going to be put up on the screen isn't going to disclose the identity of the witness.
Thanks, Chair.
Thatha ixesha babalungise izinto ezithize ezidlumzi.